Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the 1920 German campaign that we're doing. We're right here finishing up January 1923, and we had put a couple of battleships in sea control, or newer ones, faster ones, to see if we could get a 1v1 battle against some of these British battleships. That did not occur yet. Hopefully it will in February or March soon. But we did have a couple of battles where we continued the cruiser attrition on the Royal Navy. We're up to 14 cruisers. One thing I had missed, it had almost scrolled off the bottom here, was that we had two more of the Bremen class light cruisers commissioned into the fleet. So now we have 8 of these things. I don't know what our power projection number is, but I think we added, whatever it is, we added about 5,000 more to it with those two ships. There was a time not that long ago when we were overwhelmingly outnumbered in the 2 cruiser categories, and we are pretty close to parity now, especially among light cruisers. And at the rate that we've been sinking them, I have no doubt that we will reach parity and then surpass them in numbers before the end of the year at the latest. Another thing to point out is with that ship count and tonnage disparity disappearing, they still have 7 battleships to our 6. However, these are 26,000 ton battleships. Even our smaller battleships, our oldest ones, those are 34,000 tons. Gneisenau, the newer but smaller battleship, is 34,000 tons. And essentially our flagship, the Brandenburg, is 36,000 tons. So they outnumber us in battleship ship count, but we are ahead of them in battleship tonnage. Really the only area in which the Royal Navy retains a quantitative edge is in destroyers. And we have not seen many of those recently. To the extent that destroyers are going to make a difference, they haven't been doing it. These have mostly been staying out of battles. All of which is good news for us. Let's head on into... there's one thing I do want to point out. A few months ago, as Brandenburg came into the fleet, I decommissioned our 4 remaining starter light cruisers, the Cologne class, in order to free up their crews, which had reached veteran status, and to improve the quality of the crew pool, our manpower reserve. And then a few turns after that, after we had clicked through more than once, we looked again, and that big bulk of sailors had remained in place. You know, like the additions to the crew pool were persistent. And not only that, but the proficiency of the crew pool had actually risen above what it had been before. We had a average level of trained at one point, and a couple months later they had actually reached an average level of regular, without any additional ships having been scrapped or mothballed or anything like that. Which kind of suggests that maybe the crew training trains up the crew pool as well as it does the crews. It does appear, however, that while that may not disappear in 1 month, it's only temporarily persistent. So it is kind of a use it or lose it situation when you have that kind of happy situation in your crew pool, because since then we've only had 2 light cruisers enter the fleet, Medusa and Ariadne, and I think there's something like 850 apiece, so that drew 1,700 sailors out. So that leaves about 4,000-ish sailors. I don't know what happened to them because we're back down to the 3697, which appears to be kind of a, you might temporarily exceed this, but this seems to be kind of a baseline ceiling that you will return to. And the average training has gone back down to cadets. Is it meant to be that way? I don't know. Was the fact that it was higher for a few months, was that itself a bug? I don't know. Is this meant to replicate something? No idea. One might hypothesize that we discharged a bunch of sailors. If we have jobs for them, we can reassign them. But if we don't, it's an excess in manpower, and they're just discharged. They go back to their civilian lives, where they will probably be drafted by the Army. In any case, we're back to our about 3,700 crew pool, which has been kind of standard, and they're back to cadet level. And indeed, that didn't just happen. Medusa and Ariadne both came into the fleet, and they have cadet level training. So that temporary reserve experience we have, it's gone. Okay, let's see what happens in February. Britain loses 3 more transports. Another convoy battle, very, very close to the one we had last month, and it looks extremely similar. We have Friedrich Karl and Hansa again attacking a convoy that's a little bit better defended this time. The 2 light cruisers and the heavy cruiser Galatea. I guess the only, I won't even say concern, but what I'm kind of foreseeing is that it may be difficult to sink all 3 of these cruisers before running out of ammo. We'll just have to see how that works out. Meanwhile, there's another battle out here in the middle of the North Sea. Is it our desired battleship confrontation? It is not. It's another heavy cruiser versus heavy cruiser cruiser duel, where Prince Heinrich will no doubt, barring a torpedo smack, dispose of the Amphitrite. Okay. Let's do the 1v1 first. I'd really like to start taking out some battleships, but these cruiser battles are working to our favor. I'm already in firing distance. Just go on save. We're already at 8.2%. She's still going to fire at that percentage. Is she already running? No. She's at 6.6. .6 kilometers. Move. Steady up. We're not gonna hit you. I do need to keep stimming this way until they pass. He's already taken propulsion damage. So you need to get closer. It's not a 16 knots. We can slow down to at least cruise speed. So far, 26 hits for 1.2k compared to 12 hits for a little over 100k. And both ships have the same caliber and quality of gun. Amphitrite actually has a lot more of them. I think this campaign is showing, is clearly can be shown, the inherent superiority of player-designed ships versus auto-generated ships. We were getting nothing like the performance of our new cruisers out of their predecessor classes that were auto-generated for us. Not because of tech. Yeah, you know, we're at our starter tech level, except for two fairly minor improvements. Is Amphitrite running? HE. Speed back up. Probably get to about, I don't know, maybe 5 kilometers. Slow down. Where exactly are his He's got quads forward and oh, he's got underwater tubes, so he can fire one straight out of the stern. Does he have one in the bow? He does. Okay. race between whether he sinks a structure or flotation. Kind of looks like structure might win. Even the hard turn doesn't make it stop firing with the save with the save ammo setting. Probably because we're going slower speed, so the ship isn't healing as much. Yeah, I think structure's going to win that race. Lost our conning tower. That's going to hurt our... Yeah, conning tower damage is a pretty big hit at 25%. Might pop one last one out of his stern at us. Nope, didn't make it. Nice job, Prince Heinrich. Amphitrite disposed of. 1,600 victory points for the Amphitrite. That may vary a little bit just based on amount of damage. I think we got 1,800 for the Blake in our last 1v1. Which, oh, by the way, I hadn't noticed, but Blake had just been commissioned into service on that very month. Came out of the builder yard, went straight out, ran into, I want to say it was Blucher. I don't remember. And was promptly sunk. That had to have given Jellicoe something to think about. He might get fired soon. Even before the war ends. Okay, that was the 1v1, and now Friedrich Karl and Hansa taking on a trio of British cruisers with a few British transports as background meaningless scenery. No fire mains. Stop that. Turn off your torps too. Ah, for once I remember. There's 9 transports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we don't have cruisers hiding in the back yet. And they had on the battle window there, they were showing the R for reinforcing, so they are some distance away. Probably on the other side. Let's just kind of cruise down the side of the convoy so that when they do appear, they have to fire through transports if they happen to get in torpedo range. No need to burn at top speed. For the moment, we can just leisurely shoot secondaries for the moment. There come the cruisers. Okay. What's our range? 11.8. %. Can wait till they come a little closer. There, you can shoot up. You can still shoot secondaries in Millbrook here. Just for something to do. 8.4, 4.3. Okay, batteries released on the mains. Save mode. Time compression dropped because of our proximity to these transports, I think. Okay, let's speed back up. That'll hurt our accuracy, but it'll hurt theirs as well. Not even identified yet, but that light cruiser is not having a good time with it. They're early going. Let's make a lazy old turn away. No need to let them get too terribly close. Liverpool. That's the lead ship of that class. As long as we're firing on Liverpool, just go HE. And there's what's that behind it? Cape Town. Liverpool is done. AI is probably shifting fire to Cape Town anyway. I can't get in there quicker. But yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that turn away turned out to be a torpedo evasive maneuver, didn't it? Let's just double check that. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, the pattern of my strategy, kind of my basic tactics, is, I think, it was clear long ago. I don't rely overly much. Wait. I think Hans is fine. Frida Karl following in her wake may have a problem. Yeah, our turn now. Yeah, away is the better angle. If she were a little bit further left, turning into them might be better. I think I want to go away. She might eat one. Hans is fine. Friedrich Karl is going to be fine. Matter of fact, you can just go back into division. That's fine. Okay. Both of the lights taken care of. Here is Galatea. It's 6 kilometers. Keep firing HE. We apparently don't have a very good pin chance at this angle and distance. Still got plenty of ammo. My fears of going Winchester on 9-inch ammo, and 8-inch ammo for that matter, prove unfounded. Who are those aimed at? What's Hans's best move here? Temporarily detach Friedrich Karl again. That should be fine for him. Or for her. It's kind of weird using the, she or her ship name for, the pronoun, which is traditional, widespread, universal almost, for ships named specifically for men, as most of them are, that are named after people. I kind of feel like those were actually aimed at Friedrich Karl, and that Hansa should be fine if she just maintains course. I hope that is the case. This is the edge torpedo here. Yeah. There was no real cause for concern there. Meanwhile, I've left Friedrich doing donuts here. I do have the conning tower issue on Hansa. It's affecting her accuracy. She's got so many other buffs, though. She still has... It's lower, but it's still an effective hit chance. Effective enough. Oh crap. There's a torpedo I missed. Friedrich Karl gets smacked. Hopefully not too badly. Galatea is out of torpedoes on her deck edge launchers. So basically, she has 3 left, but they're loaded in those single underwater tubes. But she has one facing all 4 directions. But you can only fire one at a time. Okay. I think Friedrich's alright. Switch back to automatic. %41 structure. I think we can slow to cruise. She's down to 16 knots. Rather than have Friedrich Karl just follow and train, let's just put one ship off of each one of Galatea's quarters. I'm going to change. No. I'm going to have Friedrich stand off just because if he does pop out a torpedo, Friedrich Karl's rudder is damaged. And she's not going to be able to evade very well in that state. Back to HE at this angle. Not looking good for the Galatea. He can fire that one torpedo out of the stern. Galatea. Done. It's 4 more cruisers. 2 light, 2 heavy. Gone this month. 52, almost 5,300 victory points. There it is. British Empire desperately asks us to sign a peace treaty. Should we accept? No, sir. We should not. I want to see Brandenburg in action at least. Come on. Spent like $1 gazillion on that ship. I want to see her in battle. They did build a new heavy cruiser, the Suffolk. Well, I look forward to meeting her. And it's official, they now have fewer light cruisers than we do. And the heavy cruiser gap narrows some more. They were at 10, we sank 2, but they're at 9 because of Suffolk coming into the fleet. Okay, well, all right. I think that will do for this episode, and hopefully in March we get to see Brandenburg, or at least Gneisenau, in action. See you then. Thanks for watching.